What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wealth Network channel, or welcome if you're new to this channel if you don't know me. Basically, I make videos about crypto. I try to inform people as best and as realistically as possible. Usually I do analysis, but I'm also very much interested in new projects and just good crypto investments, of course. So what do we have to take a look at then? Base, the layer 2 made by Coinbase, or at least affiliated with Coinbase, because that has been doing absolutely amazing lately. And I'll show you why, and I'll show you what's going on, because obviously you need to know that. But what we'll then do is we'll take a look at least what I think the three most promising projects are on Base at this point of time. Because what I'll show you is that Base right now, in terms of network usage and total value locked, is doing very, very well. I've not seen growth like this in a very long time. And what's that going to cause is that some projects, new projects built on Base, will profit off of that and will rally a lot. I'll cover three projects which I think have potential. Not all of them have as much potential as the others, but I do think these are three of the best projects on Base right now. It's hard to really say they are the top three, but still probably two of them are probably in the top three. But before we get into that, I do want to say that I also have a Telegram group around WealthNet Grow in which I post my own trades. I'm a profitable group, and you gain access to a chat room full of traders, variable, and my trading guide, if you would like to analyze and trade like me, but that's more based on technical analysis. The link in description below. All right. And now we will focus more on fundamental analysis, because Base at this point of time is ranked number 11 in the top 50 blockchains in terms of total value locked at 400 million, which is crazy because that's already higher than something like Cardano, Torch, and Multiverse Kronos Kava. It's doing well. So, yeah, if you take a look at that, you can see that there has been massive growth basically since the beginning of August when the bridge was opened. It's now very high, around $400 million, which is pretty crazy. But like I said, that immense growth actually is very good for certain projects built on it as well. So there are a couple of projects I want to talk about, and we will have to start with Moonwell. Moonwell accounts for $18 million of that total value locked on Base. You cannot see it right here because this is all soon Glimmer and Moon River, but overall quite a lot, right? $18 million on Base. That's quite a lot. And apart from that, it's also right now the best lending and borrowing protocol on Base, because that is what it is. You actually have some decent APE, and it's actually up and running. All right? They have governance, which is working, and they have their own token, Moonwell, which has been launched for quite some time already. It is showing some momentum already. Volume is still relatively low. Market cap is low, which creates a lot of potential. But the token is quite old because, like I said, it is also possible to use this on Moonbeam and Moonriver. But like I said, you can use this on Base. It's actually being used. So it actually is providing utility and value. But that it's being used also allows you to lend and borrow Ordo, actually get some yield on your capital on Base. Definitely interesting. And apart from that, like I said, it's one of the biggest projects on Base right now. In total for Eloque, the token is still relatively new. The token was released in June of last year. It has some other utility outside of Base as well. So definitely a project you need to watch. I'm not sure if this is my favorite, but it might be because of the low market cap. Because the next project we will talk about is Aerodrome. Aerodrome has, as it stated on DFI Llama, at this point of time at least, has over $200 million of total value locked. I believe that's all on Base, because if you actually go to, if I'm quickly able to do that, if you go to Base there, you can see $204 million right here coming from Aerodrome. That's a lot. Basically what it is it's a decentralized exchange, all right? You can just swap tokens via their decentralized exchange, and you can add liquidity. That's all at this point of time, all right? So it provides real utility and it provides real value because you need a strong decentralized exchange. But it does not provide more than that at this point of time. Also has its own token. The token is relatively new. The token is called Arrow. And right now, what we are seeing here, you can see it launched the 28th of August. So it's very new, it's doing very well. But what you're seeing right now is that this is what the price is doing of Arrow. It's not a good buy at this point of time. All right? The total market cap is low, so long term it could still be good. But they had an airdrop 4 vested Avalo lockers, which is 40. And just in general, there seems to be a lot of inflation in a very short period of time. Here you can see the total supply in epochs. you can see that we'll have a lot of inflation in the next 100 epochs. So even though Aerodrome is doing very, very well in terms of total value locked. All right, so that's completely great. Like I said, it's actually being used. So again, it provides real value. It might be better to wait a little bit with buying Aero. And right now, the only way you can buy it is via a decentralized exchange. So I posted a tutorial on how to do that not too long ago. You can just use Aerodrome, by the way, so if you actually want to buy it, you can use their decentralized exchange. That might be the best way to do it. But yeah, altogether, it definitely has potential because it's a great platform. But for now, it's probably a little bit too early. And then lastly, obviously, we cannot forget that, and that's friends. Tech. Right. If you haven't followed this, or if you don't know what this is, I'll quickly explain it. But it was and still is very, very hyped up, especially on crypto Twitter. So basically, what it is this. After signing up with your Twitter account, you can browse a curated list of influencers. And each of those influencers is like an asset, all right? So you can invest in that influencer by buying their shares, and then you unlock a direct line of communication. So some major crypto Twitter influencers started using this. So it got a lot of traffic. Here you can see the number of buys and sells, especially in the middle of August, was crazy, crazy high. It has a total volume of 50,000 Ethereum, which is crazy, or at least while crazy. It's really high. All right. It's a lot of money that has been transacted, and it's sad that they will actually do an airdrop because Friend Tech does not have a token yet that's still coming. So maybe this is a little bit of a cheat that I'm doing by telling you these are the best three tokens, while Friend doesn't have a token yet. But I am fairly sure that when their token is released, which looks to be the case, all right, it's not 100 confirmed, but it's pretty much sure it will be one of the biggest ones out there, all right? And it will provide a lot of volume. It will provide a lot of momentum for base as well, I think. So definitely worth it to follow this and sign up. You can just go to Friends Tech on your iPhone or on your mobile device and sign up there. Get some keys, and there's right now, I must say, by the way, that the number of buys and sells is dropping down, but it's still fairly high. When they actually announce a token, it will probably be even higher. So definitely want to watch as well. And the other two are Moonwell might be goodbye right now because it's already showing some bullish momentum aerodrome, perhaps in the next month somewhere after. We also sustain some bearish momentum, perhaps coming from the markets. But those are the three projects I wanted to introduce you to. Like I said, Moonwell with their Well token, Aerodrome Finance with their Aero token, and Friendtech with their non-existent token. But it's coming soon. So if you do have any questions about these projects, or if you want to discuss anything, I'm always open for that. Of course. But for now, I want to wish you all a great weekend in advance. And thank you for watching. Bye.